What is going on, YouTube? And in this video today, I'm going to be going over how you, a transitioning service member, can go from leaving the service to going into working for one of the largest e-commerce logistics multinational technology companies that we all know as Amazon. Now, in case you've been living under a rock recently, I'm going to go over a little bit of the history, but not too much because that's not the scope of this episode. But throughout the course of your life, if you've ever shipped or received a package or anything of that sort, this worldwide entity has probably had a hand in that. You know, Jeff Bezos, cloud computing, AWS, Audible, you name it. The only thing that you need to be concerned about is that they have a transitioner program where they heavily invest in their service members to get them to the highest level of executive leadership in the realms of logistics and supply chain management, all within this company. And this is what you call the Amazon Military Pathways Program. So before we go into the hierarchy of anything, please subscribe, give this a thumbs up, and comment for the algorithm, because I am trying to give back to our veteran community by telling you about the resources that they don't tell you while you're transitioning. Now, more into the hierarchy. For this Military Pathways Program, this is a 5-year program where you're going to be fully employed the whole time. But I'm just kind of looking back at my logistics officer days in El Paso and in Fort Bliss and 1st Armored Division, and I'm seeing a lot of bleed over. So they start you out as what's called a candidate, where you're still being paid full time, and then they're going to give you increasing levels of responsibility, with you ending up being one of Amazon's next general managers, VPs, and directors one day. That is how much they put you into this program. So let's go for a little bit of a deep dive here. Okay, moving on to the hierarchy. So as a Pathways candidate, you're already going to be in charge of a team of 50 to 100. Just being a frontline manager, learning all the various sectors of the business acumen, the various functions such as fulfillment, air delivery, customer success, you name it. And this could take place in one of many locations nationwide, as Amazon is literally located everywhere. So as a Pathways graduate, presumably at the end of these 5 years, you're going to be caressing that VP general manager job. This is taken right off the website, which I'm going to leave in the description. But as a Military Pathways graduate, you can expect to lead organizations of nearly 4,000 individuals, have financial responsibilities for labor in excess of $2.5 million per week, and potentially have oversight of over $1 billion in capital projects. So this has a lot of bleed over to the military, right? You get better, you get more responsibility, higher pay, and you just kind of move on with your life. But in this case, you're going to be very marketable. So we're gonna go right into it when it comes to qualifications, and now we have this pretty cool screen edit that I'm doing, which I totally love. So the basic qualifications. So you have to have at least 5 years of active duty service as a commissioned or non-commissioned military leader. Nothing of an anomaly there. Transitioned or retired within 1 year, and this is a non-negotiable. A completed bachelor degree from an accredited university. A lot of universities are accredited, even the ones that you take either online or use your TA for one in person. Just make sure that you have that degree. An excellent military record demonstrating significant levels of responsibility and leadership experiences in challenging high operational tempo assignments. So in layman's terms, do your best, and don't get kicked out, and don't be lazy. Candidates must be flexible to work weekends and or overnight shifts regularly, and geographic flexibility in your assignment. So that's just kind of how it goes there. And also, you do see a bunch of MBA requirements as well, but let's not dwell too far into that. That's a whole separate deal. And myself being an MBA candidate and having people that have actually just done it straight off of active duty, you can easily get to that level, and sometimes they're addressing other sectors that's kind of out of the scope of this program. So as you can see on the bottom, this is for a position in Colorado, which is $130,000 per year. Now, the pay range for this, doing all the data and analytics and reaching out, is going to be somewhere between the low end 90,000 to around the mid 100,000s, like you see here, along with the full range of medical and other financials. Which leads me to my last part that I'm going to cover very, very briefly, and that's going to be the compensation package along with your medical and all that other stuff. I'm going to be talking about the restricted stock units, or RSUs. So Amazon tends to do this as kind of their little financial add-ons, including to a potential sign-on bonus, which is nice. This is literal shares of Amazon that have to vest, which means you have to be working at Amazon for a certain amount of time for this asset to start accruing, and that can be negotiated, but that kind of helps with employment or retainment. Sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, so after a certain amount of time, you start to accrue this, and this can be a nice little supplementary to your 401k and retirement streams of income. So I just kind of want to point that out right now. Okay, so guys, that concludes this episode, and just a reminder to make sure you hit this notification button, because there's only going to be more to come here. So let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. We have a lot of good stuff coming up to tech sales, investment banking, real estate, but just know that I'm going to be your people's champ every single week, breaking it down so you can pick it up, because not that many people are talking about this. So I'll see you in the next episode.